everybody. I've been trying to get on live this morning with on my personal page, bringing on a friend. So if you saw that, sorry about that, but it didn't quite work because the friend was actually a Facebook account that I had on my camera right here, so I could get two cameras going at the same time. But then I had to leave the microphone on and too much feedback. So anyway, welcome to my studio. I'm Robin with the Dessa Rose Creates, an independent Chalk Couture designer, and today I want to create a tray that's kind of going to resemble barnwood, I'm hoping. I haven't done this yet, so we'll figure it out as we go. So hang on and watch it come to life, I guess. Let's get over to my page here, and then I'm on my iPad, and I just changed the angle up a little bit on my camera, so let's make sure that's good. I tried to test it, but keeps going into my shop. Crazy thing. Why is it doing that? I'm having all kinds of weird things happening today. I know Facebook's going through lots of changes, but does it have to mess with everything? I don't know. It's still just on my shop. It's nuts. Okay, I'll find it that way. Okay. This is about wearing me out. Okay. Got it. Say hello if you're watching. Sorry for all the craziness. But we're going to get there. Okay. I'll set that up there and you say hello. We're going to work on one of our and these are nice and heavy. This is our diagonal board that's in our catalog, and you can create on the front side or the back side. So I'm going to try to make this into a tray, although I don't have all the components here. I want to put some little handles on here. I think I may want to get those at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, not Michael's, but Menards or Home Depot, Lowe's. I need to get somewhere and get some little handles. Hi, Anna. Hi from Florida. I am going to ChalkCon. Yes. Lord willing, we're able to do that. I'm going to go. Actually, my husband's going too. We're going to spend a week down there. So we're leaving like on Wednesday. Thursday, July 9th is my birthday. And then the convention, of course, is Friday and Saturday. And then we don't leave till Tuesday. So, yeah, it should be fun. But I'm going to need some chalk gals or guys to hang out with during the convention, because I won't know anybody going. At least no one's from my team's going. So, yeah, I don't have anybody to hang with at convention. So if you're in the same boat, let me know. This board can be found in our catalogs on the website. This is called the Reclaimed Diagonal Pallet. It's in a gray tone. It's a 12 by 18. They are $17.99, and you cannot buy anything like this already made up, this heavy duty. It's very, very good quality. So the boards are on the diagonal, and it's in a gray tone, kind of a wash. You can still see the grain of the wood in the boards. So I'm going to try to paint it, since it has this gray undertone. I'm going to put some red and brown on it, and kind of in watercoloring technique, and see if we can make it look kind of like a barn door color, barnwood. And we'll just dress it with some sandpaper, and then I'm going to chalk the gathering place inside, And then I'll have to come back on. Tomorrow I got to work at the store. I'll come back on in a couple days, and maybe I'll have some handles by then. I also want to make like a tassel. And you remember how? Oh, I should have grabbed it. I did this month's club in the bandana theme. It's kind of what I'm thinking. So I want to get some bandanas and shred them into strips and make a tassel to attach to the handle of this. So that's my plan. But I was at Walmart last night. We were getting flowers, and you know how you say when you're at Walmart, I know there's something I need to get, but I can't remember what it is. Well, I did remember bars of soap and soft soap, but for the life of me, I did not remember the bandanas. And I said that on my last live, I need to get some bandanas. So I'm going to have to go back to Wally World and get some bandanas. Hopefully they have some there, but I got to find some. And I want the traditional red and blue ones because I'm going to make the red and blue bandana theme artwork is my next series. So I'm going to put this away for now. And let's bring out, I have some red fusion mineral paint I'm going to use. I have some craft paints in different shades of browns. And then we have the gray undertone. So I think I can make it look like a barn door. Everyone will want to hang with you. Oh, you're so funny, Anna. Anna or Anna? We can hang. Great, Lori. Awesome. That'll be fun. I hope, you know how you just want everything to be back to normal. And just, ugh. We just need to gather. That's why my theme is, it's time to gather, because we're ready for it, right? I'm going Wednesday and leaving Sunday. Cool. Yeah, I'm leaving Wednesday and coming back on Tuesday. My husband and I are both coming down, so we're going to have a little R&R, hopefully. I think I don't know if we're going to go to any parks, but Universal Park is supposed to be opening back up. Part of it's opening back up already, so hopefully it's all good. Alright, I'm going to grab this 1-inch paintbrush and then a craft brush for the browns, and this one's going to be for the reds. So let's get started. I did make, back when I had Tangleberries in Centerville, Iowa, that's my business I had back then, and it was a home decor, gift shop, coffee shop, lunch, fudge. We did all that on the main floor. And then on the second floor, we refurbished the apartments into extended stay suites. You can stay nightly or extended stay. And the last suite we did, I did in a barn theme. And we had the big, sliding doors, like barn doors. And in the other two suites, I stained them dark brown. But in the third suite, I made it look like a barn door. And so I did some painting techniques. I think I did the crackle technique too on it, and just kind of make like a weathered barnwood color. So I have done that before, but it is going to be hot. I'll be there. Awesome. I think there's a lot of people going to go, which kind of surprises me a little bit, but that's great. Okay. I was lucky enough to win, I was drawn to be one of the winners to get free registration from Chalk Couture. So that was a sign that I really needed to go, right? When you get free registration. And my husband even wants to come to the banquet, so $119 for him to go to the banquet. I think he just wants to meet all of us crazy people, all the crazy designers. But so I thought, well, since I got free registration, you could pay for the banquet, right? So I'm going to, I'm trying trying to decide whether I want to mix in the brown as we go. I'm thinking I do, so we're going to try it. This is really red, and I want to look a little bit more dirty red. So I'm going to tone it down a little bit with some brown craft paint. And it doesn't have to be put on perfect because we're going to sand some of it away anyway. So I did start out with the wet brush. I dipped it in the water because you know you kind of want the undertones of the grays to show through. You know, with our Distress ink from Tim Holtz and stained wax, you can really age up paint pretty well, I think. And I always say, it's just paint. If you don't like it, you paint over it. So why not? Before we get too crazy, I better do the side. Good afternoon, Tammy. Hi, Vicky. This is our diagonal reclaimed wood. Or reclaimed, I don't know if it's reclaimed wood, but I'm going to make it seem reclaimed. Barn wood when we get done, hopefully. I've been working on an art project to enter in the art contest, and that has to be all hush hush. Can't show anybody, but that's what I've been doing the last couple days. Working on that, almost done with it. But I missed being on here, so I decided to hop on. I was trying to get, I was on my personal page. It's supposed to happen with your business page eventually, that you can bring on another guest on your live. Well, a while back I opened up another Facebook account just for the idea of bringing on my fake person and bringing them on my, so I could do one camera coming down on my project and one on me. But it wouldn't let me do it unless I turned off my microphone on the one so you wouldn't have all the feedback, because you can't have, you know, two people talking on in the same place. So it was a bunch of feedback and it wouldn't work because I tried to turn off the microphone, and then you got kicked off the Facebook when you did that, so off the live, so it didn't really work. Of course, the only way to mess with it is on live, so then you're like, sorry, I'm just trying to experiment here. Don't mind me. But I thought that would have been so cool if that would have worked. But it didn't. Anyway, we're going to get this painted up. Just adding some brown. It's almost like you want the paint to go the way the boards are laying in here, diagonal, but you naturally want to go like this. And you know, another thing I'm going to do is set my tray on like 4 jars of paste, so it doesn't stick to my cardboard. this to be, I think I want the paint strokes to be in the direction of the wood. But it's kind of hard to do. I agree, it's difficult to hear what she's saying. Oh, you can't hear me? I'm sorry. I wonder why that is. Let's see, it should be on. Let me see if I can turn up my volume or something. Hold on. It's still hard to hear me. If I'm standing right here by my camera, can you hear me? I'm going to wait a little bit to see if you can hear me. Let me know. I don't think my camera's any further away than it normally is, but I'm standing right next to it right now, so. Hi, hi, hi. I'm just trying to get y'all to hear me better. Maybe I just need to talk louder. Okay, now if I sit down, let me know if you can hear me. If that's any better. Am I sitting down and you can hear me? Of course, I was messing with my volume a lot when I was trying to do the other types of lives. So, great. Okay. I'll try to talk louder too. All right. I'm getting this pretty bright red here, but I'm going to be toning it down with some brown craft paint. And I'm trying to put my brush strokes on the diagonal because these boards are in here diagonally, but it's kind of hard to do. Okay, now let's bring in some brown. Let's try another shade of brown. I couldn't answer right away because I had chalk paste on my fingers. You chalking away? Alright, so just get some different shades of brown and just work them in with the red. So if you didn't hear, I eventually want to make this into a tray. That's why I am creating on the back side of this board. You can chalk on the front surface, which is underneath here, or this is the back side. And they make perfect little trays. And I'm sticking with my bandana theme that I started with this month's Chalk Couture, the Love Conquers All. And I forgot to get bandanas when I was at Walmart last night. So I might have to make a trip back to Walmart here this afternoon. And I want to get some little handles to put on the tray to make it look like a tray. So when I get the bandana and the handles, I want to make a tassel from the bandana and other ribbons or whatever I may have to hang the tassel on the tray handles. That's my plan. I may even add a tag So we'll have two handles, and we'll have like a tassel and a tag hanging off of it. I think it would look kind of cool. So I'm going to just add more browns. I'm just getting my brush wet again. And having it wet is what really helps blend the colors in. And I just kind of keep working it till, you know, it gets to where I want it. But we will distress it with sanding and inks. It's really picked up. My brush was probably too wet. It picked up some of the red right in there. So you just keep working it. The great thing about being vintage, it doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, even art itself doesn't have to be perfect. I like all the imperfections. That's what makes it look homemade or artistry made. An artist made it versus a machine. Probably what I hate the most is brush strokes. I like to try to get rid of them. But that's not always easy to do. I can almost see it better when I look at the camera or look at my live to see what it's looking like. Okay, it's starting to show some age a little bit. I might blow dry it and then actually blend in some more browns on it. But right now it's kind of picking up the red. So let's just dry it a little bit. If I can get my cords. There we go. Alright. It's going to dry. This might take a little while. So you're hearing me better now? Well, maybe not now that this is on, but hopefully you can hear me. I should have had one already done and dried so this could go faster, but I didn't get that done yet, so I thought we'll just do it live. If you have an arc mount, you probably need to bend it down closer to your project. I do have an Archon mount, but I like to be able to see. I want you to, not that you need to see me, but I feel like it's more personal if you can see me than just my hands. And I don't want to get the programs that, you know, it has two cameras. It's drying pretty quickly. I think I'll grab some gray and bring in some gray, even though the undertone is gray. Barn door has a lot of gray in it, so barnwood, old barnwood. And I'm going to turn it because I know I didn't get all of this painted when it was down there. So let me grab some gray. Paints. And we'll incorporate some gray into it. Okay. I had my water in the brush, but I squeezed out most of it. And let's just get some gray on there. Wet my brush a little bit more. Spread out that paint a little bit. Left hand gets tired, so I just switch hands. So really, this almost becomes like, well, it's kind of like whitewashing, but you're doing it with these little inexpensive acrylic paints and a wet brush, and they aren't a very good paint to begin with, like thick, so you can water them down pretty easily. Just don't forget to do your sides. And just keep wetting your brush and smearing it around. And once you get it spread around, then you can go back and brush stroke it on the diagonal. Okay, it's turning out pretty good. You know, when you have an idea, but you've never done it before, which is mostly what I do all the time, and it kind of comes together. It's kind of a good feeling, you know. So you just gotta try stuff, especially with paint. It's just paint, so if you don't like it, you just paint over it. And super fun when it's a vintage piece, because you don't have to be so particular. even if it wasn't meant to be a vintage piece, it makes it more artsy looking if you just mess with all the textures and colors. So some areas, you know, more of the red shows through, and some areas more of the gray, more of the brown. No two pieces will ever be alike. Alright, it's looking kind of cool. I think I'll just try to dry it some more, and then we'll do some sanding on it, and we'll go with that. So, I grew up on a farm with a big red barn. Anybody else grow up on a farm with a big red barn? Most barns are red, some barns are white. I want this to get nice and dry before we sand. I'm really happy with this colorings. It turned out really cool. Get dry in the corners. Alright. Now that was the color we started out with. This gray. This is the color it comes in. This is a Chalk Couture board. The diagonal. What do they call it? Diagonal. I can't remember if they call it reclaimed diagonal pallet. That's not really reclaimed. It's new wood, but we're gonna make it look old. And it's kind of cool. It's on the diagonal. So you see how awesome that's turning out? All right, let's distress it with some sandpaper, maybe a little distressed ink, and then we'll chalk on the gathering place, probably in almond. Then I'll finish it off with some stained wax. This is the dirty part. So just taking some sandpaper. And definitely want to rough up the corners and the edges. And not just the outside, but this edge too. On this edge and this edge. And some areas can be heavier sanded than other areas. And you can even sand like areas of the surface. I'm going to try to get actually down to the wood, so we have all those layers of paint to go through. Okay, and I'm going to do like these corners too. So if you're just joining, I took Chalk Couture's Reclaim Diagonal pallet board. Comes in this gray color. The wood strips are on the diagonal. And we're going to make a tray. This is the front side. You can definitely chalk on this side, or you can chalk on the back side, which we're going to make into a tray. So I painted it with red and different shades of browns and grays, kind of watercolored into it. And now we're just distressing it with some sandpaper. And then once I get all the dust cleaned off, I will probably put a little bit of distressed ink on certain areas to darken it. And I'm just going to make sure that all my edges sanded a little bit so it doesn't look totally new. Like I said, like I'm going to do it really heavy right on this area so that all the edges aren't like perfectly straight, like new. You want it to look worn. So distress some areas more than others. Okay, and you got all the sawdust to deal with. So I like to take a little piece of paper towel and I just spritz it with a little bit of water. Just a little bit. Enough to pick up the sawdust. Like that. And that way we will chalk on a clean, smooth surface. Hopefully dust-free. Of course, the dust likes to collect in the corners. And really, when you wax, when we wax it and there's dust in the corners, that gives it even more old grime look to it. So I don't mind if there's still some dust in the corners. because it'll all be sealed in. I will probably eventually maybe paint this brown on the back side, just so it doesn't like look so white. Okay, now the edges are very white, and I don't think they would be clean and white like that. So that's why I'm going to distress it with the distress ink to darken these edges up, because I don't think something old would have a bright white edge on them. And that came from the paint color underneath. Same with this little area. So I'm going to grab my distressed ink by Tim Holtz. You can buy this in craft stores. And these are sold right next to it, these little stamp pads. And so now I'm going to darken those edges up. Because I don't think that they would be that white and bright. And some of my antique or my stained wax would help that a little bit, but this even helps it faster and quicker, and maybe a little bit easier and deeper in color than the stained wax. As far as the wax I have, Minwax. I know there's a lot of other waxes out there that go with specialty paints. Okay, so just making sure the corners are, and everywhere that I put this sandpaper, including this little jobber, I'm going to darken that up a little bit. Because my sentiment, the gathering place, is going to be in an almond color. So I want to be able to make sure, you know, it doesn't blend in with this white spot there. Okay, so we're tone down the white with our distressed ink. Looking pretty good. Just gonna get all the sides, just a little rundown on some ink. Alright, cool. Looking pretty good. Look like it may have came off the barn. Still have a lot of dust on it. I'm going to try to clean that up a little bit more before I put my sticker and my transfer on it, because you know where all that dust will go, right to the sticker. Okay. And if I need to, I can always add a little bit more after we get done chalking. Alright, I'll go and grab my almond. Oh, this might work. This is called iced coffee. It's a weird color, and it's not even available anymore. It has a little bit of a olive tint to it, but it might look good with this actually. So let's grab the transfer. Now, this would have fit perfectly on the back side, which is actually the front side. But now that we're going in a little bit, it's pretty tight. So that where friends and family meet, I might not chalk that and then bring it up a little bit closer to this on a second chalking. So, that makes sense. Because it's just a little bit smaller space in here. than what this transfer was made for. We're going to make it work. I'm going to open it up. And I kind of wanted to see where that spot's going to hit, because I may want to put that on the bottom. That's going to be right where the C is. If I did it this way, here, I think I want it this way. Hi, Carolyn. All right, so this is a brand new transfer. So I do want to fuzz the back of it. And what does that mean? Well, these are stickers. And they're pretty sticky. So if you put a little fuzz on the back from a towel, it doesn't make it, it makes it not so sticky. So therefore, it will be easier to lift up off of your board. So let me set this down for just a minute. Lay this here. I got the sticky side up. So I'm going to put my towel on it and just put a little fuzz on the back. So when I do pick up this off of the board, it will release easier. And you don't want to stretch these out from pulling because it's really stuck. You don't want to. You want to avoid stretching out your transfer, because this is a silk screen fabric in there, and it does stretch. And then if it's stretched, it may not lay nice and flat the next time you go to use it. So we're just taking some of the stickiness off. Okay, so back. Like I said, I'm going to, wow, there's really a lot of dust on there from this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to remove my dusty cardboard, because it got really dusty. I'm going to try to get some of the dust off of my transfer. I don't need to have that dust going into my chalk paste. So I'm going to wipe it off. I should have removed the cardboard before I fuzzed my transfer. Okay. Hi, Lori. Alright, so here's my reclaimed diagonal pallet board from Chalk Couture that I just painted. And if you missed that, you'll have to go back and watch because it turned out pretty cool. I'm just going to pop this down in there, just right up there. And then I'm going to not chalk these words. I'm going to put them up a little bit closer after I pick up the transfer. So I think there'll be room for them right there. In fact, I could do them more in like a white, the little words, and I'll do these in the iced coffee. Now, because it's boards laying in here diagonal, and they're kind of at different levels. I mean, you're going to see that on your print, but that's okay. That's what makes it look like a really old sign. If you have a little bit of chalk paste puddling in that area of the where the high and low is of the boards. Okay, so let's grab, we'll just do this small squeegee. And here's my iced coffee. It's kind of a weird color, but I think it's going to look good on this board. It's like a putty khaki color with, it's got a hint of green in it, in my vision, a little bit of olive in it, but I think it's going to look good on the red. So we're just going to squeegee that over all the silk screen areas of the gathering place. And then we'll pick it up, we'll dry that, and then I'm going to lay the transfer back down and move up the words where friends and family meet. I think this, and like I said, we're going to make this into a tray, and I think it'll be really awesome on a front porch, or a back porch, or any kind of porch. Or if you had a really country interior, on a kitchen, cute in there too. Alright, so we've got all the silkscreen filled in for the gathering place. I've scraped off my extra. We put that back in the jar. You see how you just skim it down? I like it when you skim it down enough that you can actually see the transfer again. Then you know you're getting extra paste off. That would have gone just down the drain and wasted, so here's the big reveal. You can see how sticky that is. It's sticking pretty good. Alright, that is awesome. So we're going to let this dry with the dryer. And then I'm going to put it back on and do these little words down here. It says where friends and family meet. I'll put right here. I'm going to have to move them up because they didn't fit on the inside of the tray. If I had done this all on this side, it all would have fit perfectly. But we're going to make this into a tray, and we're using the back side. So chalk paste doesn't take very long to dry. You can just use your blow dryer or just let it set for a few minutes. This color looks really good with on this surface color, the barn board color. Okay. Awesome. It's really turning out cool. Now we can get those words right under here where friends and family meet, I think it was. I'm going to grab the white chalk paste, and we're going to use white on those words. They're smaller words and they'll show up better with white, and I kind of like the contrast. And once I apply the stained wax to it all, the whiteness, the brightness of the white will go down. It will be more of a dirty white. So another thing I might get ready, I'm going to get my backer sheet. Just kind of lay it over here so this transfer isn't sticking all over everything. Okay, and just bring it down enough. And you kind of want to make sure it's level. tight. Stuck on there really well. And then I think we just need a little mini squeegee and go with the white chalk paste on it. Easy peasy, guys. If I can do this, anybody can do this. If you can butter toast, you can chalk. I like saying that one. Everything spread out nice and smooth. Alright. Now we can pick that up. There. Now my transfer, I'm going to fold on itself. I got stuck on the back here. Okay, like this. And normally I would just take this to the sink and turn on the water and just start rubbing this. Sticky sides are out under the water and get most of the paste off. And then on these bigger sheets, if your sink's not big enough, just make sure it's all wet, both sides, front and back. And you can lay it on your counter. And then I like taking our board erasers, which we sell, and then just get a nice wet one and then just keep brushing it or wiping it off until all the paste is off. Right now I'm just going to lay it in my pan of water I have down here so I don't have to hop up and go to the sink. Okay, so now we got to get that to dry, and then we're just going to apply some wax to it and we'll be done, other than getting the handles. I still got to get the handles, and we're going to get some, I'm going to make a tassel after I get the bandanas purchased. And we're going to put some little handles here. I'm going to make a tassel for it and maybe a tag, and we'll hang off the handle. And it's going to be all about the gathering place. So while it's still drying, I'm going to put away my chalk paste. And put my squeegees in the water. And my stir sticks. Always scrape down the sides of your insides of your jars. And get all that paste down inside so it doesn't dry on the rim of your jar. And it's even good to clean the outside too. You have a nice rag. So you get a nice tight seal on your jar. Tighten it up. Okay, I'm going to blow dry this a little bit and then we'll apply the wax and we'll be done for today. Awesome. Alright. I'm going to use Minwax finishing wax paste in the dark, special dark. And honestly, you don't even have to wax. Some prefer not to, but I like to, where's my, I like to, I don't know, I think it gives it a much smoother finish. It hardens everything, and hardens and protects your paint, your painted surface, and your chalk paste. I mean, it just, I guess it's a finishing wax, so it finishes it off. just like you would put it on furniture. Or you could spray like a matte finish polyurethane on it if you want. But I like the special dark because it gives it even more antiquing to it. So that's why I like it. And really, if you get a big clump of it on something like this, get a big clump and just start smearing around. And it's going to collect in the cracks, which makes it look even more old and dirty when you got that dirt and grime into your cracks of the wood. So I'm going to just start working it in. And you'll see where it kind of dirties up the white on the meat, family meats down here. And you'll see where it starts collecting the corners, which also gives it a grime look. If that's the look you want, then the special stain is the way to go. Or any stained wax. You just keep rubbing it in. And you can put some around your edges here. I also think the wax kind of intensifies the color. It just brings out more of the color in your paint and your chalk. So just kind of like any finish on a wood, it brings out the colors. Flake of something orange. Get off. There we go. Okay. I'm going to get the inside edges. There. So I'm not even sure if our Hobby Lobbies are open in Omaha. I know they are in some areas, but I don't know if they are in every state. But I'm kind of want to give me like a set of rusty looking handles to put on there. You know, something rusty, and we'll be good to go. Okay, I think we're done. Other than embellishing it, which we'll do later because I gotta go get some things. Okay, cool. That ended up being a fun project. So I encourage you to grab the reclaimed diagonal, which has gone down in price, which is nice. It used to be, it's a 12 by 18. It used to be $29.99 Get this. They've lowered the price on it because they have now it's $17.99. That is a great reduction. And the quality is awesome. And I couldn't have made that. The time it took me to figure out how to make that. I think I'll paint the back dark brown or something, or at least do something to it so it doesn't look so contrast to this side. But fun. I can't wait to get my handles and get the stuff I want to make the tassel with, and I'll do a tag. Maybe I wish I had a little barn transfer to. I'll find something farmy and put on a little tag, and I think it'll be fun. I'll probably do that in another live. Finish it off for you guys. Oh, sorry, I see my lights in the way. So there it is. Turned out pretty cool. Thanks for joining me. Have a good weekend, everyone. Tomorrow I work out at the attic in Valley, Nebraska, where I sell my designs. So I'll be out there tomorrow. So if you're in Omaha area, come out and see us. I'll be glad to show you around the store. Have a good one, guys, and I'll chalk with you later. Bye-bye.